let me mention a fourth explanation from the Shem Mishmuel. The Shem Mishmuel was also a great Hasidic Rebbe in the beginning of the 20th century. He was the son of the Avnei Nezer. He was the grandson of the Kutzker Rebbe. So he has an interesting lineage. And he makes an interesting point. You know, Shofar was not the only horn that was blown in the Beis HaMikdash. In addition to the Shofar that was only blown on Rosh Hashanah, every single Chag, Rosh Chodesh, and every Chag, including Rosh Hashanah, there was another mitzvah of blowing, and that involved silver trumpets. Those are called the Chatzotros. Now, we don't do that today because that only applies in the Beis HaMikdash, unlike Shofar that applies everywhere. But in the Beis HaMikdash, on Rosh Hashanah, they blew the Chatzotros and they blew the Shofar. And on a Chag like Pesach, they blew Chatzotros without the Shofar. Now, the Shem Mishmuel says the following. The Chatzotros were made by Moshe Rabbeinu in the desert, and they served a variety of functions. So the Shem Mishmuel makes the following assumption, which is eminently logical. When it comes to Shofar, the Torah does not give us an explicit meaning of the Tekiyah or the Truah. We speculate, we come up with different meanings. But the Torah does not tell us what these sounds mean. But it does tell us what those sounds mean in the mitzvah of Chatzotros, as you'll see. So the Shem Mishmuel says, it seems eminently logical that we ought to be able to borrow from their function as described in the Chatzotros and assume they have the same function in Shofar, because it is the same sounds. Okay, so now let's go to Parshat Baloscha, which describes the Chatzotros of Kesef, the two silver trumpets. Here's what the Torah says. When you gather the people, when Moshe has to address them, when we have to gather the nation, we blow a tekiyah. And when it's time to travel and journey to the next stop, we blow a teruah. Whether teruah is a shrorim or teruah, that would be the same question, but we blow the broken sound. So it turns out that in the case of Chatzotzrot, we have an explicit identification of motif. Tikiyah is assembly, and teruah is journey. So based on that encoding, we can now understand the Rosh Hashanah sounds in the same light. The Tikiyah is the call of Achdut and unity and togetherness. And the Truah is the summons to embark on the new journey of life that a new year affords us. And he goes further. He says, why is a Truah the sound of journey? Because Truah is both a crying sound and a laughing sound. Right? We all know the expression, I laughed until I cried. Crying and laughing are not so dissimilar. And whenever we approach a new experience, any new experience, on one hand, it's scary, it's frightening. Who knows what that new experience will be? Will I be successful? Will I fail? There's trepidation, right? People who made Aliyah recently, know that feeling. Leaving behind the old, embracing the new. But there's also a sense of laughing. New opportunities, new blessings, the ability to reinvent ourselves in positive ways. And therefore the Truah is that combination, Gilu Biradah, I said in the very beginning, of laughing and crying, being scared and being exhilarated. And that's our journey. And life is a journey, as the t-shirt says, and I like t-shirt sayings. Life is not a destination, but a journey. That's exactly it. The destination, it's only up to Hashem. But we have to enjoy the journey in a meaningful way. But that journey must take place within the confines of Tekiyah, which is unity and Achdus and togetherness, in which we support each other, we encourage each other, we respect each other, we understand that people have different journeys that they're taking in their lives. And those journeys are worthy of respect in some ways. Now, how you balance that is going to be difficult, because it is very, very true that not every derech is one the Torah itself would approve of. So to say, for whatever it is, to say this is okay and this is okay, this is, at some point we can't say that. But in a more complicated sense, even if someone's journey is not the right journey, they are worthy of respect because they are seeking a path. They are looking. And in the very process of wanting to be a seeker of wisdom and truth, there is legitimacy to that endeavor, even when it goes in what we would consider to be the wrong way.